That shit was cool. I swear I was jamming. Damn.
Guess what? DMV Hoodz and Newz is on the couch. He's going to give us the latest news, the 411 on even how he even became DMV Newz. So y'all stay tuned. Here you go. DC, Hoodz, and Newz.
DMV or DC.
Oh, I keep saying
It's good.
I mean, I understand it because she's a full-blown Washingtonian.
Yes, I am.
So she's not used to that term,
DMV, yes.
So I can understand and respect it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Washingtonian myself. A lot of people say I'm from Maryland because I claim the DMV or I acknowledge the term. But I'm really from DC, uptown, born and raised.
Oh, uptown? What area uptown?
I lived everywhere, but I grew up mostly in the Leroy Park neighborhood.
Oh, Leroy Park. I had family around
I grew
Leroy
up on a small block, 4th and Elm Street. I grew up right there, one block from the projects, you know what I'm saying? Grew up, it wasn't too bad, but we had our struggles too. You know what I'm saying? My block, my side of the neighborhood is gentrified, but back in the days it was lit, live, good times, bad times, all that.
So how did living in Leroy Park shape you for where you're at today?
It made me stand out. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I used to get bullied a lot growing up.
You did?
Yeah.
As big as you? Yes!
Alright, so
Okay.
Alright, so I was always taller than my peers, so a lot of people thought I was older when I looked. So I would hang out a lot of the 5th and 6th, like I'll be in the 3rd grade and I'm already 5 feet. Oh. So the whole time, a lot of the peers would think I was older. They just thought I stayed back or something. So all the 4th, 5th, 6th graders, they would pick on me and they'd be older. So yeah, that's how it was growing up.
Shoot, man, what high school you went to?
I graduated Cardozo.
Okay, Cardozo, that's that uptown school right there. All right, 14th and Clifton, like right there up in there?
Yeah.
Okay, 14th and Clifton. So our next question is, because you from DC, what is your favorite between R&B or go-go?
Go-go.
Hold up. What's your favorite band?
Oh man, I got top 5. I can't even.
Okay, tell me a top 5.
Top 5.
I'm a bounce beat baby, so
I know you too.
Raw, Rare Essence.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I grew up listening to like the TZB.
Oh, okay. I know Bo.
Yeah, TZB. I grew up TZB. I grew up. My favorite band is a band called AVM, XIB. I'm from uptown, so definitely my favorite band, True Expressions. And TLB, that's where I grew up. I go see Backyard all the time, but I don't put Backyard in my top 5 because I just believe their level of pedestal is like on beyond a level of a top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I see Backyard. I go see Backyard all the time. Growing up, but my top 5. I'm a bounce beat baby, so as far as that's why I was.
You like the bounce. Okay, so do you get any of your information when you go out in the world? How do you get your information?
I really literally scroll up and down.
That's it.
That's it. You know how much what people put on the internet, like scroll up and down, or I get a DM, but the DM is like people be thinking I'm out here trying to expose people.
What?
That's what people think I am. I'm not an exposed page. I don't expose people. I don't expose DMs. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like this and the third. Like I literally just find what's already in the public.
So everything that you post is public information.
Yeah, everything I post is public information.
Okay, so quick question.
Yeah.
What does the DMV Hoodz and New platform has to offer to the community?
What have it all? I mean, we do. That's a good question, though.
Yes,
I ain't gonna lie, that's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question, though. I mean, because I can't sit here in front and fake like, oh, I'm a role model. I do this and do that.
So it's not a role model position?
When it comes to the, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you.
Okay.
But I do post, I do post controversy. I do post bad things, but I also post good things, positive things in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you one question? What is your intentions when you put this stuff out? Is it good intent? Because that's how you can say, because
it's reality. It's just like when you get the news. When you get the news, it's basically hood news. That's why it's called DMV Hoodz and Newz.
Yeah.
It's hood news. Like it's.
Well, we would want to know this, right?
Good, bad, and the other.
But we would want to know.
It's what you want to see. It's what you don't want to see.
But,
you know what I'm saying? It's what you need to see. It's all that, all in one.
So basically, it's a place where you can get informative information.
Yeah.
Because this is informative. We want to know what's going on in the DMV.
Yeah.
We want to know, who got killed, because that's some things you might. Okay.
I mean, I post on there a lot. I don't like to post killings too much.
Okay,
but
so
if it's like something like if it's like a tragic situation, then I'll post on that.
Okay, so what are some of the topics that you
I post mostly everything that's culture, everything that's within the metropolitan area, everything that's DC, PG, Moco, Northern Virginia, within that metropolitan area.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So what's your definition of clout chasing? Like for the people that don't know, for the older generation.
You know what's crazy though? I don't even like clout. Like if you know me, man, I'm a real low key person. I think clout is just somebody that's just chasing fame for just chasing. I mean, just chasing notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I mean at the end of the day, I do want a little clout just for my brand and my business. But if you know me, I'm a real low-key person. I don't like to, be out in the spotlight and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So one thing, you say you low-key.
Yeah.
So do people know you as the DMV Hood News
Not
guy?
everybody, but people who are like #1 supporters and fans, they know how I look. But I don't get on live every day, every single day, show my face every day. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody know who I'm is. I've literally walked into. Like, I'll be, like, sitting, like, say, I'm probably at a lounge or something, just chilling, cool, eating food or something, and I'll hear people having conversations about me. Literally, just sit there having conversations about me. It'd be funny because sometimes it'd be good, sometimes it'd be bad. It'd be like, oh, there's a new post that man, I can't stand this. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I just sit there just trying to hold my laugh and shit, you know what I'm saying?
So when they talking negative, what is it that they talking about that could be negative to you being a person that bringing informative information that the public
first
can
thing
see?
I always hear, man, Hoodz and Newz be tipping them. I be like, you tipping them how?
Oh, tipping them in to
like,
the information.
No, I mean like tipping and like you be on some hot shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they mean by tipping.
Yeah,
oh.
Just to let you know.
Like,
See, mama from the old school, mama from the 40 and up club. So I don't know nothing about tipping. So they think that you being hot when you do this informative information.
When I post open information, like
And it be public information.
And it's public information. It ain't like you going to somebody's house, casing their joint out.
Nah, that's not
none of that.
Nah,
so I don't understand. Well,
and I'm not super gangster, nothing like that. I'm not like super gangster, nothing like that. But I come from the streets, so we don't do that over here. But everything public record, you know what I'm saying? It's already documented. If it's if it is like some street shit, it's some shit like, say for example, like when I first started, I would talk about neighborhood hood beefs back in like the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s, right? But mostly like every story I did was public record, public information, and stuff like that. So a lot of people were like a little angry about that. But when you meet these people, like when you meet certain people in person, like I did one on Berry Farms and Connoisseurs in the early 2000s. Nothing recent, nothing like that. They not even beefing no more.
Okay.
So the whole time, like back in the days, I literally met dudes from like, dog, they was like so happy that I did that story because it was like, this is our history. And I never did it the clout chase or you know what I'm saying, trying to spread up old drama and stuff like that. I never did it. I did it because even though it's not good history, it's still DC history.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that was my goal. It was to bring the attention what really goes down in DC.
Okay.
And that was my whole goal and attention. But nobody was really mad about it for real. I quiet down from that. I do too much more entertainment and culture stuff. But those were certain things I did. And also, just like it'd be weird because a rapper will make a diss track against somebody, but they get mad at the blogger wrote about like
why did you do the diss track?
Why did you do the diss track? And generally, why did you decide to be a rapper period if you didn't want blogs to talk about you?
Right.
That's what comes with the motherfucking territory.
Right, okay.
Yeah, territory.
Okay.
So do you think that DC is getting worse than the 2000 eras, or do you think
as far as the youth, I think it's getting worse. Like I think it's a recycle. It's a because back in the days, like when my father was out here hustling and stuff like that. It was a lot of youngins, youth that was out here in the streets, doing, shooting and killing and stuff. But they had kind of a reason because they was in the streets getting money. Right. Now, it's kind of worse now because now these, like, when I was growing up, we was fighting.
Right.
You was fighting. At the worst, you get jumped.
Yes.
You always knew that little bad youngin that had a little deuce or a revolver or some little
puny stuff.
Yeah, little something, right? But and you thought he was the biggest, baddest alive, right? But these days, these kids right now, man, these kids growing up in DC right now, they like 15, 16 with Dracos, 40 clips, like extended clips.
And ain't nobody teach them how to shoot.
Yeah.
So they just killing everything that's moving.
They hit
everything.
women.
They don't even care.
They don't have no
regards to life.
Yeah.
Oh.
So do you have a relationship with God?
I mean, I don't like to put my religious business out, but I'm Muslim. So
that's a religion though.
Yeah. So
that's a relationship if you claim it doesn't matter of like Christianity, Islam, long as you believe in a creator.
And that's exactly what I believe in.
That's it. We go ahead.
Yeah, now like it's just like I don't put it out there because I know what I do is not religious. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do, so I don't put it out there. But I would never, if somebody asked me right now, I would never deny what I believe in. You know, in life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? May the Most High forgive us all for our sins.
But I really feel okay.
You know, but you know, like I tell everybody, because I don't put it out there because I don't want the youth to have a misconception. This is how I live. I don't want you to live how you want to live. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I just, you know, but I am Muslim, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Again, you have a relationship.
Yeah.
A relationship is knowing that I'm not doing this alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know that my fan base didn't come from me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I know that my the momentum that you have, the passion that you have for what you're doing, I just really want you to know that God is behind it. So you can tell somebody you're a Muslim because you are a mouthpiece for people who don't know things or can't speak on things. You're that mouthpiece. You're that resource. Whereas though, if people don't know what's going on in the DMV, you're that person. I don't Google to find out information. That my mind just don't even go to that point. But God allowed you to go into. That's why I asked you: were you inquisitive when you were young? Did you love looking up things and looking for information? Because that's a gift to just to look up stuff, to do your homework on different situations, because it's not just you're looking this up, you have to do your investigation on it. You have to really do, you know, more than just pulling it up. So that's a gift. And God is using you, despite some people don't like it, some people say it's hot, some people who genuinely needs that resource of DMV Hood News. And we need the hood because we don't have another place where we can go find out about hood information.
Straight up.
So DMV Hood News, you are appreciated.
I appreciate you.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
So what's your thoughts about the shootings that's happening in DC? Like dealing with the kids, girls.
Like I just you know, there's a lot. I'm from uptown, so I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the, you know, that the Instagram Brother Mayhem and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's like a war going on uptown. Like, that hit home. Like that hit home. I'm not gonna, you know, say too much, but like that hit home because it be like people that I went to school with. They end up beefing with right? Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, sheesh. Like it was somebody I knew that I went to school with just got killed. You know what I'm saying?
But are you still in the world, or are you?
I'm not. I never.
Okay, so that wouldn't even.
Me growing up, I always was cool with everybody, even hoods that my neighborhood didn't get along with. You know what I'm saying? I was always a neutral person. You know what I'm saying? If I had beef with you, it was a personal beef. You know what I'm saying? So I never brought the hood into it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I even had little discrepancies with my own way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like at the end of the day, I always been a neutral dude. I always been cool with everybody. Everybody know Anwan, go ahead, want to get some money. You know what I'm saying? Want to get some money and stuff like that. So you know, so I said like this. You know, I said like this with the youth right now, man. Y'all gotta pick them hands up, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Like, if y'all got them beats, man, because we grew up fighting first. Guns came second, and then even when the guns came in case. Yeah. Like, we didn't just rush to the guns. Like, guns came just in case we needed the guns. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look.
I really think guns came when we just tried to scare a person off. Pop, they trying to jump me. Yeah. You know, but not to like literally pop, and shoot you in your head or kill, you know, people that is innocent bystander.
Now people just going straight to the guns. They ain't
even thinking, they ain't doing no fighting. Oh, what?
So do you think, like, how can we stop this cycle, like this never-ending cycle? Like, you don't think you got any solutions for it? Like,
that's a good question. Everybody always say, man, we need more rec centers and we need more, you know, like boxing gyms and stuff like that. But the youngest these days, they don't want to listen. I think they just need to, they need to listen to somebody that's within their peers. I think the people, like, now we got this big DMV rap wave. You know, our influences growing up, if you 25 and up, 35 and up, 45 and up, our influences was the go-go bands. So we would have people like Big G come down to Cardoza and have a whole lecture about, you know, y'all need to chill, y'all need to and we will realize listen to it because he come from our hood.
From the street,
like he will realize see Big G on the block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On the block posted up. You know what I'm saying? With us, or we'll see his family members, etc. etc. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it was kinda like one of those situations was like, you know, we need like where the rappers at, like the older rappers that's trying to make a difference out here, we need to be like, man, don't, you know, follow us. Because I think the DMV rap scene does have a effect.
Influence, it does. It does, it really does.
I do, and I started to think about it, because, you know, back in the days, young, like, I was young and naive, like, man, girls don't, man, them music videos don't make me want to shoot nobody up, you know? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm growing up. And you listen to all these rappers out here always talking about killing and shooting.
Even killing and shooting of women and just the demise of women and just it's just so negative. Yeah. I always say rappers are role models, but they are misusing their gifts. Yeah. I always, because my brother, he's a producer, you know, he has his own record label, he has artists, and I always tell him I always tell them that it has to be positive. Yeah. The cursing and all that, you can get through to people the way that God wants you to. Yeah. By being positive, because guess what? Even though you might not get the most views, because a lot what's going on in this day and time is negativity is sales. Yeah. But that's just the enemy. That's what he wants you to believe. Because we supposed to be doing and making a difference for God. Mm-hmm. So God gave you the talent. I can't do DMV Hoodz and Newz. I can't.
You gotta have a tough.
You have to have. It's not even just tough. It's just you have to have that. You gotta have that passion. Like I said, you have to be inquisitive. You gotta look at information as, you know, and decipher what will be considerably good information. So again, these are gifts that God gave you. Can I ask you one question? When you say you used to be bullied as a kid, how did that shape you? Because
it kind of molded me to become my own man. So like, all right. So, you know, I grew up I used to get bullied and picked on by my peers in school and in the neighborhood, right? So like, you know. If you grew up around Lee Park, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up on Elm Street. I grew up a block away from the project. Mm-hmm. So, like, at that time, you know, I would always, you know, I always go up there and then, you know, I always get into a fist fight or, you know what I'm saying, something like that, then I come back, right? So, I think one of the biggest things was it helped me develop my own mind for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it helped me develop because I wasn't influenced by my peers. You know what I'm saying? The people in my community, I was influenced by my own self. By your own self. Because I stood to myself. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you stood up so when they
Because I tell the person right now, I grew up around New York and stuff. Like, man, I ain't never seen you around there. I'm like, I named like 20 people they know. Like, hold up, for real? You really live there? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I always stood to myself. I never wanted to hug the block and sit on the block. You know what I'm saying? I did my little dirt. You know what I'm saying? I sold a little weed and stuff, little kiddie stuff, but I was, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't trying to be super gangster and nothing like that.
Do you have any advice for any upcoming artists like coming up in the DMV?
Man, learn marketing. Marketing and investments. One thing that the problem in the DC and the DMV rap scene is that a lot of people live off their buzz. That's why you see like the hottest rappers in the region, they buzz that out so fast because they live off their buzz. and they get these little cheap $1,000 shows or maybe $500 shows. You know what I'm saying? And boom, 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 boom. And the next minute they buzzed out and be like, dang, what happened? You know what I'm saying? What you gotta do is you gotta have a marketing strategy. You still have to invest. I don't care if you got a blue check next to your name. You still gotta invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I heard about your page, but I just never got to see the person behind the scenes, and I would have never thought that you got bullied. So we really touched on a situation that is right now is really like the forefront of a lot of people issues right now, and is bullying, people feeling peer pressured, bullied, and all types of things. And for you to be somebody who experienced it, but also with your height and size, you wouldn't have never thought that. But again, on the couch, we find out so much information that is lucrative that it doesn't have anything to do with size nor height to get bullied.
Yeah, no, it doesn't at all. So the thing is that you know, when I was a kid, you know, like I said, I'm a real tall kid, but at the end of the day, I'm still a kid. So like before I moved around my neighborhood where I grew up around, I used to live like a mixed Hispanic and black community.
Right, so you ain't even have to worry about all that.
It was still kind of crunchy. You gotta remember, this is DC in the '90s, so it was still crunchy. But my great grandmother, I was living with my great grandmother. It was like in the Petworth area, Quincy Street, Randolph Street. So we lived right behind the Safeway. The apartments behind the Safeway. And like, she kind of kept me segregated from everything. So when I moved with my mother, I had more freedom, but I didn't know how to react to that freedom. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know. I just wanted to be a child. I wanted to play with toys, play wrestling. Like, I'm talking about my peers was like 9, 10, 11 years old talking about stealing cars. You know what I'm saying? So their understanding of life and my understanding of life. And then not just that, I had my mother and my father in my life.
We did too. Yeah. We kind of had our personal
we had our, so like, you know, it was a little... Like my father did, so a lot of the people that I grew up around didn't have a father in their life. So they would put their frustrations and stuff like that on me. That's what I believe in. And it's just like, over time when we grew up, I just wasn't like them. You know what I'm saying? You know, they was like, no knock to nobody from our way. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody, First Street, Elm Street, Detroit, all that. Like, I got love for everybody. But I just felt like at that time, everybody was just like trying to be, you know what I'm saying, followers, you know what I'm saying? And I was just trying to make a lane for myself. Even like at 14, I had my first job when I was 14. You know what I'm saying? I told my mother, I said, Mom, if you don't give me this job, I'm gonna find another way to get some money. So they offered me a job at 14, and I went out there and go get it. You know what I'm saying? Worked at Ben Jerry's for 3 years, came supervisor at 16.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, and then I started working at McDonald's. I always had a job. I always had a job and a hustle. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I always had that hustling mentality. I think that's one of the things that keep me consistent with Hoodz and Newz. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I don't want to work for nobody no more. Like I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to work a job. I gotta go to work right now. I'm doing it because I don't got to, but I'm doing it because I want all my money to go into Hoodz and Newz. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
When you got a vision, any means necessary.
Any
means, and especially if it's positive. A job is a positive. It ain't like you said I had to go back in the world to go get this money, and you know, because it's fast.
I mean, I tried to hustle. I wasn't good at it.
Yeah, hey.
I tried to sell weed. I remember. Oh man, I know we got to roll. I remember I had a funny story. So it was it was a Dom girl, right? And I broke down. I talked to her too. She was like, my bad. You know, I was young and dumb. But basically, he tried to introduce me to this girl. The Dom joint, I ain't gonna say like my bad joint, but like the little Dom joint, like she pulled up on me, and I tried to show her a bag of weed, and for some reason I gave her the weed, and she just ran off on me. You know what I'm saying?
She ran off.
Ran off on me.
Ooh.
Yeah, ran off on me, man. And it was like a hard situation because she a female, but she just playing with me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I said, like I was more of a, like I was cool with everybody. I was a loner for real. You know what I'm saying? So I was a loner for real. So I couldn't just call my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't just, I was the type of person to call my block about my issues or stuff like that. I wouldn't call certain people. I just like, like I don't know. It was hard to explain. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, I was like, damn, I let this girl run all my shit. I'm done with selling weed.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that shit.
Man. That was, you know what?
But in my mind, I'm like, I want to go see her about that.
But that was the breaking point.
Like,
that was
I wanted to go see her. But in my heart, I wanted to go see her about that. But I was like, I'm going to be a bigger man. All my men laughing at me. Oh, you want that? you this, that, and the third. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, though, I really want to go at her.
No, but I really feel like you might have just had a sense of respect because she was a woman.
Yeah.
Even though she was a dom, she still, at the end of the day, was a woman. Yeah. So that,
like,
let that.
It's a lose-lose situation. If you go smack her dad and you try to. You gonna look dumb down. You gonna look.
So actually you got the message that God was trying to tell you.
Yes,
just don't sell drugs.
Yeah, man. Fact. Yeah, fact.
Oh man, this has been a great interview. I thank you, DMV, Hoodz and Newz. I thank you for the informative information. I don't care what these youngins might say. You tips, all that. I don't know what that is. You are informative if you ask me. So with that, y'all tune in next week to On the Couch Show.
On the Couch Show. He's informative with public information.
Yeah.
You know, they generation a little different. I'm gonna let the people know everything he posts is public information. Make sure y'all stay tuned to On the Couch Show though. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. Follow DMV Hoodz and Newz, y'all. Tell them where to find you at again, man.
DMV Hoodz and Newz, YouTube DMV Hoodz and Newz, Instagram DMV Hoodz and Newz, Twitter DMV Hoodz and Newz. Also Hoodz and Newz worldwide. Y'all can go and follow that, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole uptown, shout out to the whole DC, DMV, all that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mama too. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to y'all, man.
Thank you. Y'all be blessed.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Straight up.
Can you tell me what the time